It's Tuesday, April 4th. Big hairy ass deal. And this is Guy's Daily Drive. And welcome to Guy's Daily Drive, the show that asks the inevitable question, why is Guy doing a show called Guy's Daily Drive? Today, I'm going to talk about a couple of different things. Number one, you can see I'm wearing this nice bright orange shirt on a Tuesday at 4:30 in the afternoon, when typically I would still be at work, and I would do one of these on my way home from work. I am not on my way home, and I'm not at work. I'm going bowling. Last couple of weeks, I was invited by some of the guys at work to join their, it's not really a league, it's mostly just an excuse for a bunch of people to get together, throw balls, heavy balls, down a wooden lane, and to drink beer. I enjoy almost all of those things. I'm not a big beer drinker, and I typically don't drink beer, or I haven't over the last few weeks. Maybe I will eventually, but I doubt it. But it's fun. It's nice to get together outside of work and just spend a little bit of, mindless fun. It's actually really cheap. Because we're in this league, the games are only $2 for each one. And they have some side bets going on related to, who gets high score, which I never contribute to because I honestly just suck at bowling. I'm awful. The other one is every time you get a mark, either a spare or a strike, you get a playing card. And the person who has the best poker hand at the end of the game, and you can get up to, I guess that would be 12 cards at the very most if you marked every single frame. Whoever has the best poker hand wins the pot at $5 a pot. And I've won once. But it's I mostly put that money in not expecting to win because I don't really get that many marks. I did win once on exactly 5 cards, and they were just happened to be killer ass cards. But yeah, it's mostly just so that I can be part of the experience. But it all has to do with change. I didn't used to bowl, now I bowl. That's a change. And the reason why I bring all this up is there are lots of changes right now going on in tech, with Apple in particular. And it's weird because the tech itself is not really what's having the big change. It's rumors of change. And I could probably do a whole show on what I think about rumors, but there are some legs to these, and I thought I would talk about it a little bit. So the rumor is kind of twofold. First rumor is that Apple is getting ready to move from the Intel platform for the Mac to their own ARM-designed processors. These are the processors that they have in iPhones and iPads and iPod Touches. All of the iOS devices use Apple's designed ARM chips, and they're very capable. They're quite good. Are they as good as Intel's x86 processors? No, I don't think so. They have scored relatively high, but that's that's using iOS and iOS applications. It's not really the same thing. So that's rumor one. Rumor two is that with the Mac moving to a 64-bit architecture like iOS, one or two OS revisions ago switched everything to 64-bit. If your apps weren't in 64-bit, then you couldn't be in the iOS App Store, which of course meant that you couldn't get onto iOS devices because that's the only way to get applications onto iPhones and iPads. Well, it doesn't work that way with the Mac, so it has been slower in making the switch from 32-bit with 64-bit support to all 64-bit, which is what they're getting ready to do. And that's a good thing. I mean, it allows for, there's all kinds of benefits related to going to 64-bit, and they're almost all good. But it does mean that some apps will be left behind. But that's not what the rumor has to do with. The rumor has to do with Apple supposedly making it so that you can run iOS applications on your Mac. To run iOS applications on your Mac. And when I read this, I read this a couple months ago when these rumors first started, but I didn't really give them much credence because it just didn't make any sense to me. And now it's a couple of months later, and it still doesn't make any sense to me. What is the benefit for Apple, for the Macintosh platform, and for the people that are on that platform to run iOS applications on a Mac? Everything that you do on your Mac, that you have applications for on your Mac, are far better in usability, with the user interface, with the types of hardware that it can access, than what you would get on iOS with an iPod or iPod Touch, iPhone, or an iPad. So what's the benefit? Why would Apple do that? And I came to the conclusion, and it was the same conclusion I came to when I heard about this, is that I don't think that's what they're going to do. It just makes no sense. It makes no sense to move the Mac to ARM processors, which means that all the developers of software for the Macintosh platform will have to recompile them to run in ARM, and depending on how the hardware is set up, it may or may not run as well. And the Mac has, even with all the brouhaha with the Mac Pro, there are still a lot of professionals who use the Mac for various things. And I don't know if they would be on board with going to ARM processors. And this is assuming that Adobe would be on board. This is assuming that Microsoft would be on board, and the big developers would be willing to port their applications to ARM over Intel's x86. None of it makes any sense to me. What does make sense would be if instead of doing that, you made iOS more capable to be used in a similar fashion than that people would use computers for. Hold on a second. There we go. That people would use computers for in a desktop environment. So you would give people the ability to use a mouse, external keyboard, bigger monitor, more storage, all of the things that you can't easily do in iOS right now. That would make more sense to me. I don't know if that would make more sense to Apple. I'm here at the bowling alley. But that's what makes sense to me. And depending on product announcement, I mean, we've got WWDC coming up this summer, Worldwide Developers Conference, if you don't know. And with that will come a slew of information related to the Mac OS and related to iOS. And it will be interesting to see what exactly Apple does have planned. I don't think it's to move the Mac to ARM. I don't think it's to have iOS applications running on the Mac. But I think it will be more capable iOS devices. And possibly a way for people to use iOS as their only OS. So that's going to do it for me for today. Thanks for watching. If you would like to get a hold of me, my email address is guy@mymac.com. You can also reach me, guy@mttfgo.com. Tomorrow night, I'll be expounding on this a little bit more with Warren Sklar over at the Mac to the Future livecast there on Facebook. Just look me up there. It's at 8 p.m. on Wednesday nights. So that will be April 5th. Yeah, it's tomorrow, April 5th. You can also find me in the MyMac.com podcast that I do with Gazmaz, where we'll be recording episode 702. 702 episodes of the MyMac.com podcast. That'll be this weekend. And of course, there will be more episodes, at least one more episode of the Daily Drive before the week is out. If you'd like to help support the show, I have a Ko-fi page, coffee page, however the hell they pronounce that. ko-fi.com/MacParrot, or just if you look up my name, you'll find it there. Same thing with Patreon. You can subscribe, give me a little bit per month if you want. You don't have to. Or like a one-time thing if that's how you want to do it. Real easy to do over there on Patreon. Just look me up there, Guy Searle, Guiserle. And we have a Skype number. You can contact me. Don't know how I'll do Skype calls in this environment. I don't think I can, actually. But you can call it, and we'll probably find some way to sneak it in here. The Skype number is 703-436-9501, 703-436-9501. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on a day where I'm not bowling.